What's up? This is Kiki Meow Meow. Welcome to
Bayezid Hossain.
10 kids
In southern Bangladesh, 4-year-old Bayezid Hossain is unable to attend school as the other children are afraid of him. The little boy suffers from progeria, a condition that causes premature aging of the body but not the mind. While Bayezid does have above-average intelligence, his sagging skin, deep-set eyes, and other abnormalities caused by the condition give him the appearance of an 80-year-old man, as he ages at 8 times the normal rate. Bayezid's young parents have sought out different doctors, shamans, and healers to help their son, but he may not surpass 15 years old. Tessa Evans. Grania and Nathan Evans from Ireland were shocked to learn during an ultrasound that their baby girl would be born without a nose. Her disorder, referred to as arrhythmia, is extremely rare, with only 47 reported cases in medical history. To make it easier for her to breathe, a tracheotomy tube was placed in her throat. At 2 years old, Tessa's parents allowed doctors to implant a 3D printed mold that will eventually appear as a normal nose. She will undergo numerous surgeries throughout her youth and into her teenage years to improve the appearance of the mold. Once she has finished growing, a new prosthesis will be implanted and a tattoo artist will draw nostrils and shading to appear more detailed. Hyum Young Shin. Some people wish to stay eternally young, but Hyum Young Shin wants nothing more than to grow up. Meet this 10-year-old from South Korea. Okay, did we fool you? Shin suffers from Highlander syndrome, a condition that slows the aging process. Despite his appearance, which is equivalent to that of a chubby-cheeked preteen boy, Shin is actually 26 years old. Due to his youthful face and high-pitched voice, he is often mistaken for an elementary school student. He says that he enjoys clubbing, going on dates, and drinking beer. He has been dubbed the Peter Pan of Korea, but doctors say the condition does not affect his overall health. Shiloh Pepin. A little girl was born in 1999 with a dangerous and rare condition which doctors did not believe she'd survive. Shiloh Pepin was born with cyanomelia, or mermaid syndrome, which caused her to be born with her legs fused together from the waist down. Infants born with this condition can sometimes have their
I can't watch this. Oh God. It must have been horrible.
surgically separated, but due to the blood vessels crossing from side to side in Shiloh's circulatory system, she could not have her legs separated. Shiloh was also born without genitals, a rectum, bladder, or uterus. Her mother referred to her as a tough little thing with a blooming personality in 2009 at 10 years old due to complications from pneumonia. Richard Sandrak. Known as Little Hercules in his youth, Richard Sandrak was named the world's strongest boy by the time he was 11 years old. Richard was born in a small village in the Ukraine but moved to Pennsylvania when he was 2 years old. His father was a martial arts world champion and began training his young son after arriving to the United States. By the time Richard was 6, he could bench press 180 pounds. His training included 600 push-ups as well as 300 squats a day. They began traveling across the country for competitions, photo shoots, and Richard even starred in the 2009 film Little Hercules. He is now a stuntman at Universal Studios Hollywood. Kristina Pimenova. Originally from Moscow, Russia, Kristina Pimenova has been called the world's most beautiful girl. She's only 10 years old and has been modeling since she was 3. She and her mother moved to Los Angeles to continue Kristina's modeling career by signing with LA Models. She has already done work with Armani, Dolce & Gabbana, and Roberto Cavalli. She has been doing runway modeling since she was 4 years old and has millions of followers on her social media accounts, which are managed by her mother. She only models children's clothing, but there has been some controversy over comments made on some of the youth's photos. Pan Qianhang. In Wenling, eastern China, Pan Qianhang has been referred to as fish boy due to a severe case of ichthyosis. This condition is a very rare skin condition that is presently incurable and causes dry, thick, and scaly-looking skin. It is uncomfortable and can be very painful, making it difficult to move and affecting the ability to sweat, causing Pan to overheat easily. He also has difficulty sleeping due to the itching and pain. Hopefully one day a cure can be found, or at least a way to lessen the discomfort caused by the condition. Ben Underwood. When he was only 2 years old, Ben Underwood of Elk Grove, California, was diagnosed with retinal cancer. In order to avoid the spread of the disease, his eyes were removed and replaced with prosthetics. Unlike most visually impaired people, however, Ben did not use a guide dog or a cane. By the time he was 5 years old, he taught himself to use echolocation like a bat, making a sharp clicking sound with his tongue and waiting for the echo to bounce off objects to help him get around.
Nothing was wrong with him when he was born on this one, but this one's the hardest to believe. I don't know, I thought that was cool.
Echolocation, he was able to play basketball, rollerblade, and even ride a bike. He was the only human in the world to use solely echolocation to navigate his surroundings. Sadly, his cancer returned and he passed away at the age of 16 in 2009. John Chris Carl Quirante. At just 9 years old, John Chris Carl Quirante from the Philippines is a local curiosity. It all started when his parents realized he was growing more than the typical baby teeth when he was a toddler. His parents could not afford a dentist, so it wasn't until he was 5 years old that he received his first x-rays. The dentist was shocked to see over 150 teeth on the boy's images. John Chris was diagnosed with hyperdontia, a condition that causes excess teeth to form and only affects 1 to 4% of the world's population. His condition worsened until he had more than 300 teeth crowding his mouth. He underwent surgery to remove 40 of the extra teeth and will need to undergo at least 7 more surgeries before his mouth will become more manageable. Charlotte Garside. At birth, Charlotte Garside of Withernsea, England, was less than 2 pounds and 25 centimeters long. She was so tiny, even premature baby clothing didn't fit, and she needed to be dressed in doll's clothing. At first, doctors were unsure of the cause of Charlotte's tiny size, but later discovered it was a rare form of dwarfism referred to as primordial dwarfism. This condition...
I heard about this person. She was 5 inches long, and she was really short. It's pretty cool.
Results in a smaller body size in all stages of life and can happen when both parents carry the gene. At 5 years old, Charlotte was only 9 pounds and 68 centimeters tall, not much bigger than an infant. When she began her first year of primary school, they needed to have her uniform specially made. We hope you enjoyed learning about these incredible kids. Let us know what you thought of this video down below.